What if I told you that the easiest way to grow your business isn't finding more clients, it's keeping the ones you've already got? It's often the case that many VAs spend far more time thinking about how to attract new clients than they do about the experience they're creating for their existing ones. We obsess over LinkedIn posts, networking events, websites, lead magnets, but how often do we stop and ask ourselves, if I were my own client, what would this experience actually feel like? That's what today's episode is all about. Welcome back to the Visionary VA podcast. I'm Holly Copsey of the VA Handbook, and each week I share practical advice, honest conversations, and sustainable strategies to help you build a business that works alongside your life, not at the expense of it. Today, I want to walk you through what I call a client experience audit. Think of it as putting yourself in your client's shoes and looking at every single touch point they have with your business. Because clients don't stay with us simply because we're good at the work. They stay because working with us is easy, professional, reliable, consistent, and they feel looked after. So let's walk through the client journey together. In step 1, I want you to think about the first impression you make. Imagine someone has just heard about you. Perhaps you've been recommended, perhaps they found you on LinkedIn, or maybe they've landed on your website. What happens next? Can they immediately understand who you help, what you do, how you can help them, and what they should do next? Or do they have to work hard to figure it out? One of the biggest mistakes I see is businesses making potential clients do too much work. If someone is confused, they'll often move on. So ask yourself, is it obvious? Is it professional? And does it build confidence? Now, let's look at step 2, the inquiry process. Let's imagine that the prospect has decided to get in touch. How easy have you made that? Do they know how to inquire? How long do they wait for a response? What happens after they press send? Even a simple acknowledgement email can make a huge difference, because from that very first interaction, you're teaching clients what it's like to work with you, hopefully showing them that you're organised, responsive, and professional. What you don't want to do is make them feel that things are already feeling a little chaotic. Step 3 is your discovery call or client consultation. This is one area I think people often underestimate. A discovery call isn't about selling, it's about understanding. It's about listening, building trust, helping somebody feel confident that you've understood their challenges. I find it really helpful to record my discovery calls, with permission of course, so I can refer back to them if needed at a later date, but also so I can do some analysis and ask myself, does the prospect leave the call feeling clearer than when they joined? Or have I spent 30 minutes asking the right questions or just talking about myself? You want people to leave a discovery call thinking they really get me and I'm confident they can help me. If the call goes well, hopefully you'll move on to step 4, which is onboarding. This is where first impressions become lasting impressions. Once somebody says yes, what happens? Do they receive a welcome email, a contract, a clear explanation of the next steps? Do they know what you need from them, how you'll communicate, and when work will start? Good onboarding removes uncertainty, and uncertainty is often what creates unnecessary stress for clients. Remember, they've just invested in you. They're hoping they've made the right decision. Your onboarding should reassure them that they have. Then step 5 is delivery of the work and time to look at the day-to-day experience. This is where most of us spend our time, but you need to ask yourself honestly, how proactive are you? Do clients have to chase you, or are you one step ahead? Do you communicate regularly? Do you update them before they ask? And do you flag potential issues early? One of the biggest compliments I've had over the years at Virtually Priceless is clients saying, I never have to worry because I know you've got it covered. That's what great client experience feels like. It's confidence, not just competence. Then step 6 is to look at your reviews and feedback. Time to ask yourself, when was the last time you formally checked in with a client? Not just a quick, is everything okay, but a genuine conversation about what's working well, what could be improved, how their business is changing, whether they need any additional support. These conversations are invaluable. Not only do they strengthen relationships, but they often uncover new opportunities too. Clients' businesses evolve, and you want your support to evolve with them. And finally, step 7, reaching the end of the journey. Even if a client leaves, the experience still matters. Did the relationship end professionally? Did you leave the door open? Did you make the offboarding process smooth? People remember how relationships end, and you'd be surprised how many clients will come back again if it's ended well. Or they might recommend you to someone else. Never underestimate the power of leaving on good terms. Remember to stay polite and professional, and that it's business, not personal. We often don't entirely know what's going on in their business, and they might be going through a tough period, moving in a new direction, or have refined their operations, so they need a different kind of support. So, time to think about what's really going on in your business. Run through this simple exercise and audit your own client experience. Write down every stage of your client journey, from finding you right through to finishing the relationship. Then score yourself out of 10 for each stage. Ask yourself, where do clients experience friction? Where are things inconsistent? Where could I make life easier, both for the prospects and for you? Often improving client experience isn't about doing more, it's about removing the little frustrations. The unclear email, the delayed response, the missing process, the assumptions. You'll be amazed at how small improvements create a big overall impression. Remember, your client experience is your marketing, because clients who have an exceptional experience stay longer, spend more, refer more, and speak positively about your business when you're not in the room. That's the kind of marketing money can't buy. So, before you spend hours worrying about your next LinkedIn post or trying to find your next client, spend an hour auditing the experience you're already delivering. Because the businesses that grow sustainably aren't always the ones shouting the loudest. They're the ones people genuinely enjoy working with. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Visionary VA podcast. I'll be back with the next one on the 30th of July. I'd love to know which stage of your client journey you're going to improve first. So come and let me know over in the VA Handbookers Facebook community, or drop me a message on LinkedIn or Instagram. And finally, if you're thinking about growing your business and hiring your first associate anytime soon, check out our free download, Hiring Associates with Ease, which is available on the VA Handbook website. I'll put the link in the show notes. See you next time.